We will start with all the drama. Defense attorney advocate Malisela Tefo has been arrested in the High Court in Pretoria. Tefo is representing 4 of the 5 men accused of murdering then Bafana Bafana captain Senzo Meyiwa. It's unclear why the lawyer has been arrested and what he's being charged with. Let's find out more. Our reporter Slindelo Masikane was in court while all of this unfolded. She joins us now live. So Sli, let's talk about what happened in court just before Tefo's arrest.
So it was just after the lunch break, and when we came back into court, Tefo was about to continue with his cross-examination of Sergeant Musia when his instructing attorney, Tepo Tobane, then stood up to make submissions to the court to say that he, as well as Tefo, are receiving threatening phone calls as well as text messages, and they believe that it's crucial that the court is made aware of this. Let's just take a listen to Mr. Tobane.
Can you imagine while you are at home, someone calls you, asks you if you know a particular acting judge. Then if you ask that person, why you ask me this question? Then he drops the phone. The next thing he calls again, then I can hear paperwork on the table, doesn't say anything. In one day I'll receive 5 calls. Today, during lunch, we had a tip that they want to arrest my advocate, my lord. That's intimidation tactics. And my lord, we are not going to proceed today. Since the court might have been aware that after lunch, it seems as if my advocate is being disturbed. My lord, he is not in a good mind as it stands now, after the information we received. And there's no way we'll proceed under these circumstances.
So clearly, it seems that Tefo and his team knew that this arrest was imminent because of what we just heard. And then it happened, actually, when court was adjourned. So does Tefo know exactly why he was arrested? I saw that you managed to actually ask him those questions.
I mean, Shahan, I think if you were here, you would think that you were part of some kind of a movie because it happened so quickly. As soon as we adjourned, about 10 to 15 police officers just flooded the courtroom, heading straight towards Tefo, telling him that he needed to leave with them and that they were taking him to the Hillbrow police station. At first, I think we all thought it was a joke, but then they took out the warrant of arrest, and they said that they started demanding that he come with them. Tefo did not want to. In fact, he started making some phone calls. His fellow advocates, that is Advocate Mchololo, as well as his instructing attorney, urged him not to resist arrest, to try and not make the situation worse. And that is the point in which I tried to speak to him in terms of whether he was aware as to what the charges are before him, why he's being arrested, and whether he has any idea as to what this is linked to. This is what he had to say.
They arrest me because I'm in this case. Okay, that's the reason.
Is this why you're arresting him?
Yeah, Peggy Terra doesn't want me in this case. That's the reason. He's got a warrant of arrest from January. Why he didn't accept?
What are the charges?
Don't allow them to speak.
What are the charges?
I don't know the charges to start with.
Did they tell you the charges when they were handcuffing you?
I don't know the charges.
Have you guys read him his rights?
They never did that.
Have you read him his rights?
That's how they harass me.
We can't talk to the media.
That's how they harass me.
Yeah, it is interesting, right? Because he says that warrant of arrest was from January, but he also did mention the police minister, Becky Cele, as well. Sli, tell us more about that.
Well, it seems the defense is under the impression that there are some strings that are being pulled from high-ranking officials. You heard Tefo mentioning Bheki Cele himself. We know that there's been a lot of speculation over the years. I mean, it's been 8 years since Senzo Meyiwa was killed, and there's been a lot of rumors and speculation around high-ranking officials playing a part in trying to cover up what actually happened at Kelly Khumalo's mother's home. Also allegations coming from the defense during this trial that the crime scene itself was tampered with, that it was actually staged ahead of forensic investigators coming to the scene. And so I think That is what Tifo as well as the defense attorneys are actually alluding to.
So do we know where he is, where he's being held right now?
At this stage, from what we understand, during his arrest, the police officers mentioned that they were going to be taking him to the Hillbrow police station. I spoke to Advocate Mshololo, who represents accused number 5. She says that she was going to be making some phone calls, try to speak to the senior prosecuting official, saying that the procedure of just what transpired goes against a lot of the rules in terms of what's supposed to take place inside a court. She was telling me that nobody's actually supposed to be arrested while they're inside court, and we don't know whether he'll be spending the night in police cells, whether Advocate Mshololo as well as instructing attorney Tobane will be able to get him out today. But we understand that there's a possibility he will be appearing in one of the Johannesburg Magistrates Courts possibly tomorrow. But at this point, all we know is that he was en route to the Hillbrow police station. I know that Tobane said that he would be keeping me posted as to what's going to happen and transpire in the next couple of hours.
And lastly, quickly, let's talk about the actual case, because that was adjourned. When is it back in court? What's happening next?
Well, it's quite a lengthy adjournment, Shahan. We know that due to the availability of many of the lawyers in court, the matter will only now resume on the 30th of May, and that is because that is when all the lawyers and officials involved will be available. So the next date will be the 30th of May, and the trial will be resuming for about 2 weeks at that date.
All right.